Okay, teacher websites and compliance. So obviously our focus is going to be on teachers building their own websites and staying in compliant as it relates to the state requirements. So by the end of today's session, you should know what is expected, and hopefully you may have a good portion of it done. If you have your computer turned on, go ahead and open up a new tab, or you could go to the same tab that you're in, tinyurl.com/Alcoa912. There we go. And so that's going to take you to today's slide deck. That's got everything that we're going to be covering in there. I'm actually going to be following the outline there, but I'm not going to be presenting the slideshow, so to speak. You can keep that in reference. It's got screenshots on there, and if you navigate up and down the slides, there's some little animations in some slides that show you exactly how to do some of the things I'm talking about. All right, so anytime you want to go back to that slideshow, it's not going anywhere. All right, so this is what we're going to be covering today. We're going to first take a look at a fully compliant example set up with a dummy account on a high school website, show you what that looks like. We'll get you to log into Edlio, show you about the dashboard, the different sections there, some basic editing, which is not all that different from using a regular word processor. I mean, very, very simple. We'll show you how to get into your Google Classroom if you haven't already, and adjust the class description and look at a quick assignment. Then we'll go ahead and link our Edlio account, which is a school website platform we use, to Google Classroom, so the services are talking to each other. That way, whenever you create an assignment with a date in Google Classroom, it automatically shoots it off to your teacher website in Edlio. And so this is a great way of keeping your students informed and your parents informed as well. It's part of that accountability component that you may hear talk of. Then we're going to take a look at how we add our syllabus to our class website, how to get things syncing, and then we'll give you a link to some resources to help you out as we move forward. Sound good? Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and take a quick look at a fully compliant example. And in that slideshow, if you go back to it there, Sean, in that previous tab, I think I have a link. If it's on slide 4 there, if you click on that center link, the graphic there that you see, just click it one time, then the little link that appears, there you go. That's going to take you to the website, all right, that I had set up. I'm going to go ahead and go there, and this is what it looks like. Right here you can see we have some profile information. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. So you can see for a teacher website, this is basically serves as their profile page, basically just an introduction. This was actually generated, I believe, through ChatGPT. I said, give me an example of a teacher profile introduction that might appear on a web page, and so I borrowed from parts of that. So you can do the same thing or create something yourself. It doesn't have to be too terribly long. I've got 4 paragraphs here. Just a friendly introduction. That's all we're looking for here. All right? And then in addition to that, you can see we have a little bit about our education background. Think from the parent or guardian's point of view what you might find useful or helpful about the information you post here. If I'm a parent, I know you are their teacher. I would look at this and I would say, oh, okay, they've got a Master in Arts of this. I like this. Sure. Okay? So feel free to add to that. So a couple entries there. Now if you look down a little bit lower on this page, we have classes. Now that is the result of linking Google Classroom to your Edlio account. So every class that you've created in Google Classroom has the ability to be linked inside here. And if we click on that, what it's going to do is it takes us to this dedicated page inside of Edlio that pulls from your Google Classroom. Thank you. Right. So I was just saying this is what your profile page could look like. A little bit of information about yourself. your educational background. And this right down here is going to be any class that's been linked from Google Classroom. And if we click on this example, you can see the course description is given there. That's actually entered inside of Google Classroom. And then we have upcoming assignments. So whenever we create one in Google Classroom with a date, and that's key, you have to add a date to it, it's going to pull in here. One other thing I want to draw your attention to over on the right-hand side that has to do with compliance is the syllabus. This syllabus only appears on your class pages. All right, and so this is a PDF. And if I was to click on it, this is just going to pull up a sample PDF. This one I grabbed online. This was the first one I saw, I think. Yeah. Hi there. You can.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. So that is an example of a teacher website. And there's actually, before I move on, there's one last thing I want to show you. And that is this little post section right here. So if you want to keep parents and guardians up to date, or keep maybe do a weekly newsletter or something like that, just to put it out there so people know what's happening in your classroom, posts is a great way to do it. And when we get into the editing component of Edlio, I'll show you how to access that. And basically how it works is sort of like a blog. You create an article, and everything that you create automatically feeds into your page here. Yeah, it's real simple. All right, so having said all that, what we're going to do next is we are going to log into our teacher website. So we got 2 different schools represented here. So Ms. Santos, you're going to obviously go to the elementary school site, and Sean and I are going to go to the high school because that's where I actually created this demo account. All right, so the login for any site is going to be at the very bottom of the page. So if we scroll down to the bottom, all the way to the bottom now, you're going to see login. Okay, go ahead and click login. All right, enter your username. It's going to be the first part of your email address, and then your password, and then we'll click the sign in. Big blue button there. After a moment, should get us in.
I got an authenticator. I'll catch up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that 2-factor authentication does make it more secure. However, it does take you longer to get in. Yeah, but that's going to be up to the user whether or not they want to take advantage of that. So this is the dashboard. When I say dashboard, this is basically the starting point where you get into all the things that you can get into. All right? Okay. So when it comes to teacher websites, which of these options do you think we're going to click on to get to the site we actually work on? Which makes the most sense? We're talking about a what? A teacher web page. Web page, right? Yeah. So we're going to go to pages. Okay. Now you're looking at mine here, and you can see that I have actually 2 pages here. My first one is a profile page. I've titled it Profile, and then the second one is actually Posts, which is what I alluded to earlier. All right, now whatever appears at the very top level of this group of pages is going to be the landing page. So whenever a visitor to our site clicks on your teacher's profile and goes to your website, that top one is what they're going to see first. Make sense?
Okay.
All right, and now I want you to notice the controls over on the right-hand side. You see those 3 dots? If you're to just click on those, you're going to have the option to edit the page. Look at the public view. The public view is what the public sees. All right? Publish history. So if you've worked on this multiple times, you can see all of your revisions. And if you actually need to go back and revert to a version, you can do that. Okay. All right? Unpublish, basically what that does is it takes it offline. It makes it inaccessible from the outside world. Okay?
So I
You,
can click that right now.
if you clicked it right now, nobody could get to it except for you
But
on the
it
back
doesn't
end.
delete it.
It doesn't delete
It
it.
just
Just
puts it in the
yeah,
thing,
it's like
and then it'll
it's
still-
like it puts a cover over it.
Got it.
Right? All right. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on my profile page, and that will take me into the editor. All right. And just so that we're all on the same page here, I'm going to delete this block so we can start from the same starting point. You all, if you have something in there already, feel free to leave that. All right. Not a problem. How you delete a block is to just click inside it like I've done here, and then you're going to see that little trash can. Now, in case you're wondering, this collapsible option, what will happen is if you check that, and then we publish this, watch how this changes the way this looks. I'll go to public view. Now see, I don't see my profile information that I entered. When I click it, then that drop down appears and our information is displayed. Okay? That's all because I checked that little box there. All right, so let me come back. I don't really care for that, the way that looks.
Sure.
So I'm going to, I would uncheck that. Also, you'll notice it says enter title. That's because I didn't enter anything right here.
Right.
Make
About
sense?
me or something like
Well, yeah, about me, yeah. But that's only if you have the collapsible option checked. If it's unchecked, nothing will appear there. You'll just see profile up there. And I would like you to, if you haven't already, go ahead and title your page profile. All right, so just click up there. That way we're all on the same page. It looks uniform. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. And I'm going to start from sort of a blank slate. So you'll notice down at the bottom here, you see a little add button. If we click add, that's going to give you the option to add a different type of a page block. Content is going to be text. You can add pictures to it. Photos is going to be a photo gallery. All right? And you can add as many page blocks as you want. So a block is just a section in the page. All right?
So
It looks
if
like
I-
you got a question.
I do. If
Yeah.
I want, like I have mine, I have what I need.
Mhm.
I know how to do this part.
Yeah.
If I wanted to maybe one step up.
Yeah.
Like if I wanted to run club, either the link or maybe a few pictures, does it have to be all in separate collapsible? I mean, if I choose collapsible, which I do, that's not the priority.
Okay, so you've got your page, and here you wanted to add some photos, say, from class.
Yeah, like the
Like a
link
little-
to running club or just the
Oh.
logo to running club.
Yeah, I mean, you
So
could-
I don't know if I do it separate. 'cause
You
I
can-
have my class dojo buttons on the side.
Right, and that's,
Right.
yeah.
But I don't want anybody to click on my running club dojo. And I know I can allow them to join or not.
Yeah.
join, But it's just, I just wanted a picture of the running club. Because this is something.
Oh,
we do.
well, yeah, you can do that. You can add pictures a couple different ways.
Okay.
All right, so you could add a photo block, and what that will essentially do is create a photo album where you can have it running through a slideshow.
Will it have a title just like it says?
You
profile?
can add titles to those graphics there as well.
So which one would I choose on?
Well, it depends on how it is you want it displayed. If you just want to add like one picture,
Yeah.
you could do it through content. But if it's a series of photos, use the photos option here. Let me go through the rest of these, and then we'll get in and I'll show you how that works, okay?
Yeah.
So files, that page block is going to be if you have a series of documents, maybe documents that you would want a parent to print out at home, sign and return. We're not talking about dozens of them, just a few.
So,
Yeah, and so you would choose that option, then it lets you actually upload the PDF files, and then it displays them nice and neatly, and you can choose how that's going to show up, whether it actually displays it or just gives you the link. I'll say more about that in a little bit. A supply list doesn't really concern you all right now. Buttons and links, links has to do with compliance, and we'll say more about that. Those are going to appear over on the right there. Okay, so for right now, let me go to content. All right, so at this point, it's a matter of me just typing in whatever I wanted to say. I have some text already, and I'll just copy that. Now come back here. Now, I'll Command V, and that pastes it in. Now, if I need to change any of this text, it's just like working with a word processor. You select the text, and then you come up to your formatting toolbar, and you change it. Okay? Keep the font set to size 12, paragraph style. You should be good. Now, Gigi, to your question, how would I add like a single picture in this area? Well, what you want to do is find a space where you might like this picture to go. So let's say I wanted my picture to go right up here at the very top. What I would do is I would put my cursor right before the eye. That's the insertion point, wherever it's blinking. Then, on my toolbar, you see those three dots there?
Yeah.
Click on that. Ooh, look here. We have a insert edit image. So if I choose that, then it's going to ask us for a source. I can click the little upload button. Looks like this is a photo of a teacher here. Okay, Mr. Allegria. Okay, so that's going to be a pretty big photo. So I'm going to add some alt text. That's going to be for screen readers. It's an accessibility feature, so you do have to add something there. And then as far as width goes, that's pretty large right there. So what I like to do with my photos when I add them is I just enter a percentage value. So it's going to take up a certain percentage of this section of the website. So I can say, I want this to be maybe 40%. So I'll type in 40%.
That's cool.
Yeah. And if I click Save, there it is. Okay. Now, that doesn't look that great. Not because it's a bad photo, just because of the way it's laid out.
Sure.
So I'm going to apply some text wrapping to it. Now, if I click off of it and select Again, you're going to see these options over here. If I choose Align Image Left, notice how it changes the text. See that?
So let's say.
Looks a lot nicer, doesn't it?
40% didn't work, and you want to change it.
Oh, if you want to change it,
Back on it.
here's how you do that, Gigi. You just select it, you come back to the picture, click it one more time, and I can say, well, let's see what 25% looks like. See that? Now, in your case, you wouldn't actually add a photo of yourself because your photo is going to automatically appear over on the right. That's just the way Edlio is set up. Yeah, your staff photo. All right.
So publish, and then I can see it.
Oh yeah, you could see it live. And while we're here, I should also tell you, and you can always unpublish it if you make a
No, it
mistake.
didn't show up, like it's there.
Yeah.
See?
You have to add your alt text to it too for compliance. So go ahead and choose it, and then click on the picture. Do you have something in alt text?
Save.
And then publish.
I did,
Okay.
okay. I'm gonna go here, publish,
And then refresh your page.
unless it's collapsible.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
You had it
Oh, I
collapsible.
want text here.
Okay.
So I want
Now,
text.
one other thing I want to show you here with the photos is you can have them be links as well. So if I wanted this,
Oh, I do. Let's put that as a link.
if I want
Right
to
there.
make this a link, I'll just select it, and then I click the little hyperlink icon there, and I type in the URL.
Oh, wow.
All right?
Lovely, look at that. Let's cut and paste it right now.
You're all fancy up.
Yeah. All right. So, I mean, I don't really have a whole lot to say about editing because by this point in our careers, everyone should be able to type a letter and
Yep.
change alignment,
Yep.
that sort of thing. And that's basically all we're looking at here,
Okay.
with the exception of maybe adding some elements like a photo, which you've just learned how to do.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So That's going to be your basic editing. Next, what I'd like to do is for us to open up a new tab, if you would, and we're going to head over to our Google Classroom page. All right? So I'm going to do the same here. I'm in this Demo Teachers Google Classroom. And the, yeah, let us know when you get to your Google Classroom. Yeah, just classroom.google.com and another tab there. Okay. There you go. Oh, no, you're at Drive. Just start with Classroom, classroom.google.com. There you go. Good deal. All right, so I'm going to enter the Google Classroom class that I want to use or see on Edlio. And so that happens to be this demo class here. So I'll click on it. All right, what we're going to look at real quick in Google Classroom is how to adjust the class description and do an assignment date, because those are critical for the info flowing into Edlio. Okay? So how you adjust the class description is to, once we're in here, you're going to look for the little gear icon, and it's kind of hard to see. It's going to be in the upper right-hand corner. Do you see that? Class settings? Yeah. Oops, went the wrong way. Click class settings. All right, class description. That's where you enter your class description. If that's blank, then when somebody clicks on your class page on the school site, it's going to look like there's nothing there. All right, so this is what I'm talking about. In classes, the course description that you see right here comes from the information you add right here. That makes sense?
Okay.
This is blank. Course description is going to be blank. So make sure you have something there. Doesn't have to be too terribly long, maybe a sentence or two describing the class. For those, and I'm not just talking to you two in here, but anybody watching this video, a great place to get your description is going to be from the student handbook, the course catalog. You can just copy and paste it from there. That would work. Okay? The other thing I want to show you real quickly, and you probably know this, most of us should know how to create an assignment, but it's crucial for those assignments showing up in Edlio for you to do this next step, and that is to add an assignment date. So if you have an assignment here in Google Classroom, just click on the three dots and you'll go Edit. Then over on the right hand side is where you'll see a due date. Let me do that once again for us. All right. There's more than one way to get to a place in Google Classroom. So I just happened to click on the link from the stream. You also have the classwork section there, and you can click on it there. It really doesn't matter how you get to it. But when you're in the edit area, give it a due date. You can even assign a time as well. This doesn't necessarily apply to those who are teaching elementary students, but certainly for middle and high schoolers, this is useful.
Okay, so I've got one assignment.
And you have the option now to close the submission after the due date. So if that time elapses, they can't submit it anymore. It's like it's closed. You missed your window. Okay? And then topics, I have another section on Google Classroom that I teach, and I'll say more about this there, but if you can create a topic, that's going to help sort things in the classwork section, right? Kind of like a category, okay? Okay, and then make sure you save, and then you're good to go there, okay? All right, moving right along. Okay, let's show you how you link your classroom, Google Classroom, to Edlio. So let me come back here into Edlio. We have, let me see, that's going to be the published page. Did I log out of it? Nope, here we are. All right, so how we link our classes is by going back to the dashboard. All right, so we've signed into Edlio. On your account, in the upper right-hand corner, click on Dashboard, okay? I'll go ahead and leave this.
Not to be confused with homepage.
Dashboard. All right. We'll scroll down, and what you're going to look for is Classes, okay? Go to Classes, and then click Classes one more time. Okay, I'm going to actually delete this class real quickly that I've already connected,
Okay.
so we can do it together. Stop importing. There we go. Okay, so your page will look like mine.
Okay.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to choose Add a Class. All right, that top option. Import from Google Classroom. This is pretty easy, right? All right, so at this point, you're going to see all the classes that you are either, and you may need to agree to the permissions there if this is the first time. So choose Allow and OK. There you go. Now you're seeing all the classes that you are either the owner of or you have access to edit. So I'm going to choose my literature demo class here, and you can choose more than one at a time. All right, so all the classes that you have that are current, you can choose those. Then I'm going to click Next down at the bottom. Remember, there's a little scroll bar there that will reveal more classes if you don't see them initially. So I'll click Next. Okay, Department. Click that drop down, and so find a department that your class fits into, and if you don't see one, choose Unassigned. Okay, I'm going to choose English Language Arts for mine, and then we say Connect and Add Classes. Boom, we got it.
So many classes.
Got them?
Oh, it is raining. There it is.
Yep.
Okay. That's what we're learning.
And if you have a lot, there you go. Looks like you got them.
Cool.
So if you scroll down, you should see. Good job. Good job. All right. So next, I'm going to show you how to add that syllabus to your Google Classroom here.
Back to the dashboard.
Actually, we're going to stay right here. We're going to stay right here. Now, this next step assumes that you have a syllabus already in your Google Drive, and it is in a Google Docs format. So you got a Google Doc that is serving as your syllabus, okay? So if you have text already, you can copy and paste that into a new Google Doc.
It's a Google Doc.
Okay.
It's been a minute since I've checked.
Okay, that's fine. Anything you create that resides in Drive, you're using Google for, it's going to be a Google Doc. All right, so while we're choosing that format, because it pulls it directly from Drive, but it also converts it to a PDF for us on the fly. Watch how this works. If I choose Edit Class for my class that I just connected, you see down here it says Attach a Class File.
Okay.
I'll say Select a File, then I see the option to select from my Google Drive. Okay? Okay, now I've simply called this syllabus, so I can just type it in up there, and there's my class syllabus. So if you have to, on the back end, name it properly before you do this step, do that, okay? So I'll choose class syllabus. Now watch what's going to happen when I choose this. I'll select it, see it's uploading it, and then it's also going to convert it. It made a PDF of that right now.
Okay.
And then you save it. Now you've got your syllabus posted and you are in compliance. Okay? We'll go ahead and save that. All right, now, Gigi, you asked about links earlier. You got a question there?
Before I click save, can I do that? Can I click all the other classes, or do I?
Yes,
need
you
to
can.
copy those?
You could. Yeah, and you can always come back here at any
Okay.
time. Yeah, your classes aren't going to go anywhere.
Right, but from this page.
From
can I
that
add
page,
other
yes, you
classes?
can. You
Okay.
can. Yeah, absolutely.
There it is, spring. Oh, okay.
All right. So that little link over on the right-hand side, this is something that they want you to add, your academic planning guide. Okay. So that's going to be this button that appears here. So I'm going to get back into editing mode here. So we'll go back to our dashboard. And we'll go to Pages. And then we'll go to Profile. Here we are. Okay, so you see this big button that appears over here on the right. You might not have that there. You may already. Looks like you've got it there. So you've already done this. But for those who are watching this, for those who are watching this, how you get your academic planning guide on there is to do the following. So what you likely see is this little add button. So you click the add button, and then you're going to choose links. Okay? Choose links. Now, we had to manually go in and give everybody individual access to this links feature. So if you don't see links, let us know ASAP. That way we'll enable it on your account. Okay? So you're looking for inside of links, school links, faculty common. Okay? Faculty common. So I know at the elementary school, you all have the academic planning guide, and then you also have the link to your class dojo. Right? So for elementary school teachers, faculty common is going to be 2 links that appears there. For high school, it's just 1 link. We can build the links, the package of links on the back end. All you're doing now is connecting to it, and it's going to put it right there on the side for you. So I'll say faculty common, and then we'll click save, and then it'll put it on there. Now, it doesn't appear like that button, so what you have to do is just click off to the right of it and then look for that little gear icon right there. And then that will allow you to change the way it looks. I like the button style, and you can choose from a square maroon button, rounded, square black, or rectangular black rather, and then rounded. And then there's also white down there as well. I like this particular style, so I'll choose that. And then I'll click save. And there it is. I'm fully compliant now. Nobody can say anything to me. Well, they can, but I'll have done what I'm supposed to have done. All right. We click publish, and it's there. So now if I go to actions and public view, there's my website. There's my button. There's my classes. That's linked. There's my syllabus. I'm in good shape.
Okay. So to change, I need to edit the name of my syllabus so that it says syllabus. Right now it's just called
Yes, yes. You'd have to do that on the back end.
that. Got it.
Yep.
I keep clicking on it, it's downloading it, so that's not great.
Yeah.
So, so get out of here. Back
Now,
to the dashboard.
I should also say this, and this will be one of the last things that we cover today. Edlio and Google sync overnight. So if you were to add an assignment, it wouldn't happen right away that it shows up on your website, or create a post or a newsletter or something like that. You can force a manual sync, and I'm going to show you how to do that. If it's really important, you want it out there right away. Here's how that's done as it relates to your classes. You go back to the dashboard, okay? And then you're going to go to classes. Click classes one more time. All right. And if you zoom in on this page, you'll see the classes that are connected. And then right up here, it says updates are pulled from Google Classroom Daily. You click update now.
Okay.
it'll force that sync, and it will take whatever you have posted in Google Classroom and bring it directly into Edlio.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yeah, it is. So not that any of my students are sitting at home right now paying attention to what's going on in their Google Classroom.
If they were, they would notice this change.
There's a trickery going on right
Yeah,
now. Okay.
yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. All right, so I am going to go here to the very end of this presentation because we've covered everything. I've provided some links to additional sources here. There's the Edlio Help Center. You want to know anything related to building your website. So there's some great support articles there, videos, how-to videos, documents. Click on that link. Same is true for Google Classroom. And then we also have a direct link to our tech department, our presence on the district website. Okay? I would like anyone who is watching this, including those who are here today, to go ahead and click on the certificate of completion. You should see a link that should take you to a form. Go ahead and enter your information. And what will happen after you click the submit button, you'll get a certificate, a PDF certificate with your name on it indicating that you completed today's session. You get in-service credit for that.
What would you like to call today's session?
Well, today's title, if you click the pull down, this is going to be teacher websites. Yeah, so choose that option. And then 1 hour, and then submit. Check your email. About a minute from now, you should notice a email from me with your certificate attached.
It's been a few minutes, maybe.
It'll come. Yeah, unless it's broken. The last time I used it was a few months ago, so it relies on this little third-party tool called Autocrat in order to create the PDF. Autocrat. Santos knows all about Autocrat. Very familiar with that. All right.
I've heard the word. I can't say I know anything about it.
Yeah, it.
Yours come through yet?
Huh?
Has your
Yeah.
certificate come through?
Good deal. Yours should come soon
I'm
as
still
well.
seriously considering it, I'm sure. There we go.
Okay, if you go ahead and click on it, you should see a PDF attached to it. Just click on it and
Download, check. Alright, find it in the folder. I move everything to the desktop until I clean up my desktop. That's all. Don't worry about that.
there you go. Good deal. All right. I want to thank both of you for coming today. We don't have to leave here till 4:30, so I'll stick around a few minutes and entertain any questions. For those watching this remotely, thank you for viewing. If you have any questions, let me know. tlarson@alcoaschools.net. We'll see you next time. That's a wrap.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So these are every other week, as I recall, right? No?
I
forgot when that's from.
I can show you exactly. If you go to the pull up the presentation that you just had up, and if you go to the technology page, that's going to be the Google Slides presentation.